Major League Pickleball rolls on from beautiful San Clemente, California. Coming up next, it's a battle between the New Jersey 5's and St. Louis Shock as we continue to cover group action from the premier level play here on Center Court. Thrilled to have you with us this afternoon. Michelle McMahon and Adam Stone in the booth. Cameron Blackwood joining us from the sideline. And the optics of this matchup are interesting for many reasons. The New Jersey 5's come into this meeting a perfect 1-0 so far on the day. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Shock with everything on the line, an 0-1 start for them. This is how the group play has shaken out so far. Anything interesting jumping out to you in group play so far, Adam, on the day?
Well, it was a very tight match for St. Louis against the ATX Pickleballers, and unfortunately they got out to a 2-0 lead and then lost 3-2 in the Dream Breaker, and then a clean sweep against BLQK by the New Jersey 5's first round. Very impressive, emphatic win for the 5's.
And win probability-wise, the New Jersey 5's with a 58% edge on the St. Louis Shock. Much of that reason, they have one of the greatest players of all time, Annalie Waters, on their side. She was the #1 overall pick for both men and women in the draft this season. She will be on display in women's and mixed doubles here today. James Ignatowicz, Hayden Patriquin, Leah Jansen, the other three in this duo. What is it about the New Jersey 5's that makes them a challenging team to compete against?
Well, they have one of the lower overall ages of their team out here, so they have a lot of athleticism, a lot of firepower, and I think this is just a great dynamic here. We have the OG GOAT, Simone Jargin, representing the old guard, and then we have the current GOAT, Annalie Waters. And not to mention, St. Louis Shock have one of the older teams out there, so this is pickleball, youth versus experience. It's going to be a great matchup, Michelle.
You mentioned Simone Jargin. There's Jay DeVilliers. He'll be on display for the St. Louis Shock, along with Elise Jones and his male counterpart, Eric Lang. Couple of lengthy men on display. The coin toss is underway. Courtney Johnson, our lead referee here. Remember, there are 4 choices now for the captains.
She called heads, and it is tails.
Annalie Waters called heads. It is tails. So the St. Louis Shock will have their first choice.
Probably the only thing she'll do wrong today.
Okay, men's doubles first.
Oh, men's doubles first for the 5's.
Proceed.
What side do you guys want? That side first? What do you think? You would rather
They are aware of new change.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Take that side.
Okay, side my right.
All right, so the 5's choose the end. St. Louis chose to react, which is why Annalie Waters had the choice of which gender doubles to put out first, and she opted to go with men's doubles first. It's not something we see all too often. Why do you think they went that direction?
That's a very good question. I'm trying to, in this quick little time, ponder
Especially with how dominant.
Yes, the ladies. So it could possibly be they're so confident in their women they can carry over that momentum into mixed doubles. But yes, it was a slightly surprising choice out there. But they got a lot of brain power over there, especially with Lee Waters on the bench. So they know what they're doing, and they definitely did it for a reason.
The New Jersey 5's, of course, owned by Gary Vaynerchuk and Ryan Harwood, who is also the general manager you'll see on the sideline. No shortage of enthusiasm for the 5's. And on the side of the St. Louis Shock, had a chance to catch up with the ownership group there. The Chaffetz family have a prominent reach in the St. Louis area. The mother played paddle sports for 15 years. Ross Chaffetz is the GM. You'll see him on the sideline for the St. Louis Shock, and he had been adamant about getting into the mix with Major League Pickleball. Zubin Mehta, a friend of his, said, yeah, get in line. There's about 100 million other people that want to get involved at this point, but they found their way in Missouri. Surprisingly, the 5th most popular sport in the country for pickleball is in Missouri, so that's an interesting location. You wouldn't have guessed it.
That is a very nice fun fact. I would not have guessed that as well.
When they were doing market research. That was part of their pitch of, hey, we know the market in St. Louis, and Missouri is the 5th most popular state for this sport. Sign us up. And with implications of minor league pickleball and everything in between, I would say that's a wise investment. So let's focus on the pickleball, Adam. We're going men's doubles first. Simone Jargin, one of the greatest of all time. We'll see her after the men's doubles square off. Here's the head-to-head numbers for this men's doubles duel. James Ignatowicz and Hayden Patriquin and their youthful spirits with 53% chance to win over Jay DeVilliers and Eric Lang, according to their team dupers. So strategically speaking on both sides, Adam, if you could advise both sides, starting with the 5s, where are you targeting? And if you're on the side of the shock, where should they be most successful at in strategy?
Well, a little while ago, a couple months ago, I would have said to absolutely target Hayden Patriquin, but he played absolutely huge down in Daytona. He's really coming into his own. And for the St. Louis Shock, it was interesting earlier today. They had the big man, Jay DeVilliers, over on the right side and Eric Lang on the left. And they were able to capture men's doubles, even though they were not able to win the match. So Eric Lang, very competent player. And once again, it is this very cool dynamic of youth explosiveness versus experience. So it's going to be two different styles going out there. Even though Jay has plenty of athleticism as well, he is definitely a veteran of the game.
Why do you think that strategy would have worked for them?
Say that again. What strategy?
With Jay DeVilliers making the switch.
Okay, right. Yeah. So Jay has a really nice, tricky forehand speed up and a quality backhand counter, and those are two of the most important attributes for a right side player. And then with Eric Lang being an older player, he probably doesn't quite have the footwork he used to, but he has the length to be effective on the left side. So I like this adjustment from the Shock. It paid dividends earlier. Will it pay dividends in this first match today, Michelle? We shall see.
Well, you certainly have the size advantage on the size of the St. Louis Shock. Hayden Patriquin turns 18 years old in September. He is 17 years old. James Ignatowicz, the elderly of the pair, he's only 23. Jay DeVilliers has been around the sport for a long time, has a strong tennis background, originally out of France. Left France for Barcelona to train in his tennis endeavors, and then injury ended his pro dreams there, so he accepted a tennis scholarship at Wichita State, brought him to America, and then began playing pickleball in 2019. James Ignatowicz picked up the sport also with a strong tennis background. He began playing pickleball in October of 2021, former Division I tennis player at Vanderbilt. His feet, they move a lot.
The split step heard around the world in the Mesa MLP.
Keep a lookout for that. Hayden Patriquin back to serve first for the 5s.
Nice early spot up the middle from Jay DeVilliers with the quality backhand volley.
1-0.
Ignatowicz comes out with pace early.
Yeah, expect that to continue. The man, he can dink, but he's not a huge fan of it, so expect lots of speed ups and very quality speed ups from James Ignatowicz. So twice now early on that the Shock have found the backhand side of Hayden Patriquin in the back of the court, and now once in the mid-court. The fellas finding their footing early. Very common occurrence early in matches. Got to find your rhythm.
And some nerves, certainly a part in that too. Jay DeVilliers makes it look easy.
Yes, that's exactly right. This is the biggest stage in the game, so nerves are a real thing out there. And that is a great use of length without fully going with offense. They move those dinks around back-to-back angles, forcing the error on the dink from James Ignatowicz. Great job from the Shock.
A couple of errors there for the 5s, and St. Louis taking an early 3-point lead. thought about speeding it up, sat up, maybe the wind grabs it just a bit.
Well, you throw in that little shoulder waggle, and sometimes it confuses your opponents, but sometimes you fake yourself out. And that's what happened there with Eric Lang, I believe.
This is the second match for both teams here in group play. A miss reset for James Ignatowicz.
Yeah, that's been a big issue for the 5s early in this match, is making it to the kitchen. James acknowledges that is the weakest part of his game. Got to get to the kitchen line.
Hayden Patriquin goes finesse. Stays disciplined with Jay DeVilliers.
4-6.
Into the net for DeVilliers. It's a 1-point game.
Yeah, and let's be clear, the breeze is kicking up just a little, Michelle, and we are playing with a wiffle ball, so expect that thing to be moving around, and there's no question in my mind it has been a factor in a couple of these loose errors early in the match.
6-6.
Backhand flick attempt by Patriquin.
Yes, and I would consider Eric Lang much better counter-attacker than someone who initiates the offense. So certainly he's going to pick his spots to be aggressive, but he has a very thunderous counter-attack on both the forehand and backhand side. He's a big man, and he gets a lot of pop on the paddle.
7-6.
James Ignatowicz, fast hands. Might have trouble getting into the kitchen, but those hands are always
Once he gets there, that's right, Michelle. Once he gets there, goodness gracious. It's not just the hand speed, it's the power and the heaviness of the hands paired with the hand speed that makes him special. There it is again, right down in the dirt. Just so incredible from Ignatowicz to be able to rip the two-hander in space and then punch with the one hand from the chest right down into the dirt at the feet of his opponents.
8-7.
Oh, how about that? A tag right to the chest of Jay DeVilliers. Here comes James Ignatowicz and Hayden Patriquin taking over a 2-point lead.
9-7.
Same guy, same guy. But I like what he did in that previous point. He didn't drive to win the point with his third shot. He drove to get an easier fifth shot, and that's a great option to get yourself to the kitchen line.
Patriquin attacks Lang, a good counterpunch from him. That's a big body to try to attack.
Yes, I told you those counterattacks are very special from Eric Lang, and we're definitely seeing that early.
James Ignatowicz throws his hands up in apology.
That's the classic pickleball there. Your partner makes a poor decision and you get hit by the ball.
Seriously, that part's not fair. Uh-oh. Oh, so close for Eric Lang. And the 5s steal a 2-point lead once again on their side. Couple of lucky bounces there.
Yeah, and they just 4, 5, maybe even 6 loose errors from the 5 early in the first half of this match. They have really picked it up, playing clean, offensive pickleball, and they are rewarded with a 2-point lead on the end change.
They are, and remember the new nuance with this tournament and the end change is this is the side where the women's teams will begin.
Yes.
So keep that in mind as we progress on through this match. But for James Ignatowicz and Hayden Patriquin, what's working for them to create this 2-point edge and to continue the momentum on their side?
I would look for Hayden to be a little more careful with his speed-up choices and play a softer game, and that will allow more balls to go to James Ignatowicz, and I think the head-up battle between James and Jay DeVilliers is going to favor the 5s, where when Hayden Patriquin initiates the speed-up, I'm going to lean St. Louis Shock with the Eric Lang counters.
So you would tell him to continue to stay patient.
Yes, stay patient, sure. And it's always a delicate balance like we talk about, so he can't just fully hold back and only dink, so he's just got to make sure in his young age to make those clean decisions out there.
And for DeVilliers and Lang, you like the Jay DeVilliers on the right so far in this one?
No, I think so. He can create with the forehand, like I said, and we'll see if he tries to take a few more chances with offense.
Ooh, pop-up from Jay DeVilliers, taking full advantage by James Ignatowicz.
Nice job from Jay DeVilliers using his length. Hayden Patriquin coming in hot, but Jay was able to take that ball out of the air and put Hayden in an awkward spot.
Oh, the flying Frenchman goes sideline to sideline for that backhand finish.
Yep, and we talked about it with Daniel De La Rosa the other day. Jay DeVilliers right up there with high backhand power, and he can definitely put that ball away.
Easy finish there for Jay DeVilliers, and we are back tied up here on center court.
Tough break, Michelle. Eric Lang, I told you, he's not someone who just frivolously speeds up. He picked a perfect spot there and just couldn't capitalize on the second ball.
What hands from James Ignatowicz.
And it's a great job of defense to offense. He wasn't even consider hitting that ball hard in the midcourt. A nice feathery touch, and then boom, boom with two powerful counters. Nice three-shot combo.
Right inside the line. Another rip from the side of the 5s, and they're back on top by 3.
Yeah, when your opponents just drop their shoulders, very good situation for you, Jay, thinking that ball is going to go out, and it does not.
That run comes to an end. Eric Lang will take us back down 2.
That's a tough break.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was hoping Eric Lang would just go ahead and speed that ball up. He looked for the sharper angle over on the right side of Hayden Patriquin. I think he wants that one back.
There's the quick trigger of Hayden Patriquin. He's really deceptive with when he chooses to speed it up.
Yep, that was a good choice. That ball just a couple inches higher than some of the previous attempts to speed up. Good decision, Hayden.
Ooh. Oh, DeVilliers goes for it. Ignatowicz counters. The 5s seem a little more subdued than their usual feistiness. They're not as chirpy.
I think we've had
today.
one "Let's Go 5s" chant. I was expecting 4 or 5 by this point. You know, so we'll see.
I
We'll
feel
monitor.
like Ignatowicz is just a quieter version of himself.
We'll monitor. We'll monitor.
Still group play, I suppose, but still. It's part of their MO, right? James Ignatowicz speeds it up on DeVilliers, who can't seem to resolve that riddle. So the Fives 2 points away from taking game one. What once was a peculiar decision to go with men's doubles first for the Fives now seems to fully make sense.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think the St. Louis Shock right now need to continue to work Hayden Patrickman a little bit more. James Ignatowicz very hot with the speed ups, even though that last one, Jay DeVilliers, was pretty on with the two-handed counter. So expect them to play more balls to Hayden and try to get him to force something. But right now, Fives playing pretty clean and pretty solid ball. So St. Louis has got to get something going in the later stages of this first match.
Jay DeVilliers and Eric Lang looking to counter. The crowd is alive and well here in Southern California. Beautiful day, 70 degrees, sunny, just a touch of wind. Beautiful grounds here at the Lifetime Athletic Country Club of San Clemente. You're looking at Lee Waters, the mother of Annalie Waters, and one of the keen consultants on the sideline of the Fives. Big advantage when you have minds of the game like that guiding you through. And so we continue this one. The Fives 2 points away from going up 1-0 on St. Louis.
All right, gentlemen, time in 1913.
Wow, James Ignatowicz has come alive here on Championship Court.
And those are not small swings, Michelle. The timing is just impeccable from James Ignatowicz right now. The hands are on fire.
Down the middle and a finish for Hayden Patrickman and James Ignatowicz taking game one with a comfortable 21-13 finish. A dominant performance it was. The hands of James Ignatowicz coming to life. So the Fives take a 1-0 edge over the St. Louis Shock. A very happy looking Ryan Harwood on the sideline. We're moving on to women's doubles. After this, Annalie Waters and Leah Jansen taking the stage. They will square off against Simone Jargim and Elise Jones. Lee Waters, Ryan Harwood, they're pleased with their team's opening performance. As we check in now with the third member of our crew, Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Hayden and James.
Thanks, Mish. With the new rule change, you can decide if you want men's doubles to go first or men's. Why the decision to put you guys out first?
I really wasn't actually a part of that decision, so I don't know. The Fives ownership is like, you know what, leave James out of all the decisions, please. And it's working for us, and I'm staying out.
We saw you making a lot of comments about your backhand volley throughout the whole match. What were you trying to get figured out there?
I feel like I was just missing a lot in the beginning, and then I started to heat up when Jimmy heated up, so we're just linked together real nice.
And James, a little more subdued, a little more quiet right now. Are we going to see you get amped up throughout this match?
Maybe. I'm cutting back on the caffeine, you know. I'm trying to just play and be in the moment and have fun, but we'll see. I'm liable to go off at any moment, so I don't know what's going to happen.
There you go. Fives go up 1-0. We're coming right back with women's doubles. Don't go anywhere.
The all-new Prius. Toyota. Let's go places.
What are you guys doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh. I just didn't want to look like everybody else. It just didn't suit who I was. It didn't fit my persona. It didn't fit my image. I rep the stuff because I love it. I rep because it's quality, and I like the fact that I look a little fly. It's been huge because it identifies me. I feel like I stand out. People reference me to the shirts all the time. They know me as the guy who wears the flashy shirts, and I'm cool with that.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
Beautiful San Clemente, California is the third and final destination for Major League Pickleball Season 1. And what accommodations we are spoiled with here. Adam Stone, Michelle McMahon in the booth. We're just a couple of miles away from the Pacific Ocean. You can see the ocean from various points of the grounds here at the Lifetime Athletic Country Club of San Clemente. We're so thrilled to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining us all day long for your premier level group play action. We've got the challenger level semifinal coming up on championship court. We've got Cameron Blackwood on the sideline, chatting things over, strategically speaking with all of the current pros playing in this Major League Pickleball event. And it has been one heck of a day, Adam, as we move on to women's doubles. Leah Jansen and Annalie Waters playing together, and they square off against Elise Jones, former Division I volleyball player, and Simone Jargim, one of the original goats of the sport. Let's play ball. Leah Jansen goes scorpion and then big on the forehand. She has taken her game to a new level this season, Adam.
Absolutely correct.
Yes.
I'm going to elaborate soon.
Wow, what a finish down the line. The two-hander.
Yes, and Leah Jansen, she is now getting in the gym, putting in more time on the practice court. She even has a ball tracking vision coach. So she is taking her game to the next level, and she is reaping the benefits.
Yeah, Jack Pryor, the vision coach you mentioned, pulled her aside to send her a message after MLP Daytona saying, I see something with your vision that I could help you with. He's worked with many storied professional athletes, and she said it's been fruitful so far. What happened there?
Was a third shot lob clean winner from Simone
And how often
Jargim.
do we see that?
Yeah, so I broke professionalism there. I'm sorry. That was very cool though.
Down the middle rip for Annalie Waters. How many times do we see that backhand finish?
Yeah, just so much pop. Right around the shoulder level. I mean, she just gets as much as anyone in the game. Just missed on the inside-out attempt, and we'll have to monitor Simone Jargim. That team, the St. Louis Shock, is going to have to find some offense somewhere. Can Simone find that balance and not overextend, knowing that Elise Jones is an elite defensive player but struggles to find offense at times?
The 5's pulling away here, up by 3. Oh, just missed it, but that would have been an incredible ATP from the GOAT, Simone Jargim.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the 5's are not going to have to look for a spot to find offense. They have plenty on both sides.
Down the middle for Leah Jansen.
I'll tell you what. Now, what was the name of that tracking coach again? Because she's been on fire on these 3 counterattacks early in the game. Leah Jansen just handling the Simone Jargin attacks beautifully.
Oh. Wow, that's a tough point to give up. How the heck did Annalie Waters get that initial defensive shot?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know.
I can't believe they made it back to the kitchen line, and unfortunately for Simone, that backhand slice dink and tip, clipping the tape and going wide.
Leah Jansen overpowering Elise Jones. A 7-point lead now for the 5s. What are the answers for the St. Louis Shock?
Yeah, just too much 5s right now. And we even saw Simone finally found the perfect spot on 2 points ago on Leah Jansen. She was able to fend it off. They were able to defend and get back to the kitchen line. So it's going to be more of the same. Can Simone Jargin find spots to be aggressive with Leah Jansen in front of her? If she cannot find that offense, it's going to be trouble for the St. Louis Shock.
In terms of the standings, let's chat about the promotion and relegation system and the implications of what this all means for these teams. The New Jersey 5s in the top 4 right now in the Premier level, so this is a huge tournament for them to have a chance to make it to the super final taking place on Monday night. And for the St. Louis Shock, they sit with 13 points, total event points over the 2 events, and whether or not they make it through out of group play, every point matters for the ownership groups who are going back to the drawing board come July for the second draft for season 2 this year. The Premier level groups will go to the Challenger level. The Challenger level ownership groups will go up to the Premier level, do the redraft and start from scratch and see where all the teams shake out. In 2024 will determine where each team will land in terms of Premier and Challenger level. Lots of invested folks watching these games.
Still more offense from the 5s. And to touch on what you said, Michelle, we have the New Jersey 5s at 4. The third team, New York Hustlers, already lost. The California Black Bears, New Jersey already beat, and now they're playing the Shock. So they are playing teams right around their ranking, so these matches are huge for them.
Waters and Jansen, the first team to 11 as they storm out to a big lead here on center court. We will have an end change, and things are getting out of hand quick for the St. Louis Shock.
Yeah, I think what they need to do right now, it's tough when the 5s are firing on all cylinders, but I would play soft to Leah Jansen. Obviously the attacks, she is on the counters, and I'm not sure you can play fast or slow to Annalie Waters. So between those 4 options, I think slow, soft shots to Leah Jansen is their best bet to creep back into this match.
Talked about the progression of Leah Jansen and the commitment to her time in the gym, to her vision, and it's paying dividends on the court. Fans have been fantastic here today. Lots of energy trickling through this group. Southern California, a hotbed for the sport of pickleball. Major League Pickleball. There's nothing else like it. The team format is so special across the board. That's a big shot from Elise Jones. The Shock, they need to ride that and get on a bit of a run here.
Definitely. Nice two-hander from Elise Jones, spreading Annalie Waters out wide to her left. Couldn't come up with it. just enough of a jam up there from Annalie Waters as Elise Jones was unable to get her arms extended on the two-handed backhand counter.
Waters picking apart every angle on the court. She's so strong in every aspect of the game.
Well, she rips one up the middle at almost 100% and then goes 50% out wide for the angle, just changing up her paces and her locations. High-level stuff from the GOAT. Soft to Leia. It worked one time. It's going to need to work more than one.
Point.
But hey, you know, it's a start.
Why does soft to Leia?
Well, because the power at her has not been working.
The net for Leia Jansen. That's a good point there for the shock.
I'd say probably the best point of the match. And another reason to go soft to Leia Jansen is because she occasionally gets into a habit of pulling the trigger on the wrong ball. So that can be another option for St. Louis to get a couple points. Nice counter from Elise Jones. Couple nice two-handers the last few points or so.
Simone Jargim getting her side going. Golf claps all around.
Yeah, very nice. Well, when someone just makes 5 or 6 digs all at full extension and then somehow wins the point, you got to have a nice little golf clap for him. Well done, Simone Jargim.
So the St. Louis Shock creeping back in. They close the gap to now 6. It's still a big lead, but better than what it was for them, finding some rhythm on their side. And other than going soft to Leia Jansen a couple of times, what else is working?
No, yeah, it's just cleaner play overall and a nicer, crisper counterattack from Elise Jones on the few times that she's been attacked here in the second half of the game. And we know Annalie Waters, one of the quicker players to pull triggers on timeouts. If she loses a couple points, doesn't like a pattern she will stop the flow of play, and that's what we see here as they're still in a comfortable position with a 6-point lead.
Annalie Waters talking things over with her mother and coach for the time being. Waters.
Yeah, we got a few mama bears out here. We got Julie Johnson around, you know, with the Johnsons. We got Lee Waters. So, you know, they're just checking on the young bucks, making sure they're doing the right thing out there, Michelle.
That's right. Elise Jones and Simone Jargim also mothers on tour. Jargim with 2 kiddos. Elise Jones has 3. Love seeing moms in their pro sport career endeavors. The 5's stopped that run. It was a good timeout called on their end.
Yeah, a lot of these players in different spots of life. So I like the variety of ages. It makes for cool storylines and really fun play.
Oh, that's a tough net bounce for the Shock.
But just a ridiculous cross-court backhand angle in the middle of that point from Annalie Waters. The ability to keep that ball in and create the angle, just so good.
Big time play from Simone Jargim.
And Leia Jansen checking with her bench if that ball was possibly sailing long, and they did not react as it for sure clipped the line.
Annalie Waters punches that one through.
Yeah, and it's been 10 minutes since Elise Jones has tried to speed up, and she goes for one, and it comes back faster than she hit it.
16-8.
What defense from Ale. Wide for Jansen. The Sharks staying alive late in game 2.
9-16. Watch it. I got it. You got it. Come on.
St. Louis Shock creeping back in.
And that's been a few times in some recent memory that Annalise trying to work in the drop volley into her game. Unsuccessful that time.
Just back though, serve and point return to the side of the fives.
Great pullback there from Annalie Waters, who was loaded up on the two-hander. Pulls that paddle down, ball sails well long.
What a point. And the fives, 2 points away from sealing game 2. How about Annalie Waters?
That's right. She's doing a great job. I love to see her. She can probably hit through almost anyone, but she is really mixing up her paces and trying to become more of a well-rounded player. Love to see it.
Just back for Elise Jones, throwing her hands up. What can you do? Now game point for Waters and Jansen.
20-10.
This would be a big 2-game edge on St. Louis. She comes at you with offense and defense. What can you do against the greatest player in the world for females across the professional circuit in pickleball? Annalie Waters cleaning up what she started. How impressive is this 16-year-old sensation to you, Adam?
Oh, just so good. And I touched on it. I know she's had some mixed results, but I love the tinkering. She has the consistency, the court coverage, and of course the power. But to get a few tricks, mix in a drop volley or two, change the paces and the spots of her shots. If she can add that to her arsenal, my goodness.
Time now to check in with Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Leah and Annalie.
Annalie, we know you don't let James make any of the decisions. You are team captain. Especially with this dominating performance, we are curious why you put the men's out and not you guys out first to start this momentum.
Well, I feel like the last 2 MLPs, all the women have gone out first, and me and Leah were like, let's switch it up. I felt like it was better for our team, and I felt like it hurt the other team as well. I felt like maybe having the women sit for a little bit would kind of change the dynamic, and I feel like me and Leah like going out after the men for some reason, and James seems to play really well, and so does Big H playing first. So that's what we've been doing the last 2 matches, so maybe we'll keep it up, maybe we won't, depending on the matchup.
And Leah, usually you're playing with Elise on the same side on the PPA tour there. Did that give you an advantage here in creating a game plan before stepping out?
Yeah, I mean, we're both pretty familiar with the game, so especially because I'm across from her, we didn't really have to do too much head-to-head, which was kind of strategic, so I just try and play the ball, not really the opponent.
There you have it. Fives go up 2-0. We're going to come right back with mixed doubles. Don't go anywhere.
At From with Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from with Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients. And that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Just like my mama said, hard times and that good way that you're born. Hustler, when the world wants you to sing a swing, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
Back on championship court as we progress on to the mixed doubles part of the matchup. St. Louis going down 0-2 on the New Jersey 5's rather. So the Shock won the coin toss. They opted to react first in mixed doubles, meaning the New Jersey 5's had to lay their hand first. They put out James Ignatowicz and Leah Jansen, to which the St. Louis Shock countered with Jay DeVilliers and Elise Jones. This has to be the partnership they feel most confident with to take a game. And why do you think this matchup could work in their favor?
Yeah, and I think both teams right now probably have a 1A and 1B mixed team as opposed to a clear-cut number 1 and 2. So I think that Jay DeVilliers, I would probably consider mixed doubles one of his better, if not best, events. So I think him paired with just the rock and the solid play of Elise Jones over there, I think it's a good matchup to give Leah Jansen and James Ignatowicz a little bit of trouble. So the bottom line is, if James Ignatowicz's hands and his speed ups are looking like they did in men's, I just don't see how the 5's are going to lose this match, because James was on fire in men's. If he can carry that over, man, tough break for the St. Louis Shock.
Jansen serving first to Jones. Ignatowicz misses the reset chance.
Yeah, not quite sure why he drove that second ball. I understand the third shot drive, and I think he shook his head as well. He's not sure either.
Side out, point one. 1-1.
Great spot from Jay DeVilliers at the left foot of Leah Jansen in the transition zone. Always a great spot to go. Yep, Leah Jansen throwing her hands up, had a ball that she definitely needs to attack and be aggressive with, and couldn't come up with it. Frustrated with herself.
Big finish for Jay DeVilliers.
Yeah, he can go one hand or two. We've seen the one-hander earlier in men's, and now the two-handed put away as well. Nice, yeah, slippery misdirect from Elise Jones, and she did a great job of forcing James to hit that ball around his thigh as opposed to a few inches higher, and he could have come up with that ball.
Long for DeVilliers.
I like the look, stepping in front of Elise, kind of taking a chance to be offensive.
2-5.
So far, momentum on the side of the Shock. James Ignatowicz, Leah Jansen seem out of rhythm at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely a more steady team in the St. Louis Shock, and the Fives they have some peaks and valleys with the two players on court. So you gotta take a little bit of the bad with the good.
DeVilliers looks to attack, just goes wide. Fives closing in within 2.
Yeah, both players back. He's got to try to be aggressive. Just tried to do a little too much. Trying to body up Leia as opposed to hit that ball down at her feet.
Ooh, Ignatowicz had it lined up and ready.
Be careful, Elise. Worked a couple times, but you got to be careful. He was as on that one as he can be.
Says he's laid off the caffeine a bit with Cameron at the end of his interview.
Good for him, because I think that was a good decision for James.
Probably for his health as well. It's a nice return from DeVilliers. And a beautiful setup for his finishing shot.
That's right. Found the gap in the middle, really good spot from Jay, and it was all the 2 return and drop angle that set up that easy put away.
Oh, just miss wide for DeVilliers.
Yeah, really nice player when it comes to ATPs. He slices that backhand beautifully most of the time, but you can't make them all.
Good reflexes by Leah Jansen to get out of the way. That's a big forehand from Jay DeVilliers.
There we go. And he had stepped over to his right a couple times without success. That time, success.
Jay DeVilliers playing big on his side. They take a 4-point lead.
I just love it when Elise Jones gets fired up when her partner does something great. It's so good. It's just real pure joy.
That's the volleyball shining through, I would say, in the celebratory aspects.
Tough break there from Jay. I like the move again. But Leah Jansen has really been on the first ball on these counterattacks throughout the women's and the first half of this mixed doubles match.
Down the line winner for Elise Jones and the Shock. The first team to 11 will have an end change. What is the patterning that's jumping out to you so far in this one?
Yeah, so I have not seen Leah Jansen attempt a speed up at all, and Jay DeVilliers takes as much court as anyone. So she is kind of forcing the ball to Elise Jones, which isn't a terrible strategy in mixed doubles, but she's got to balance it out a little bit and keep Jay honest. He had a couple mistakes in the middle of the court with his forehand, but these last few points, he has made his presence felt in the middle. See if they can get him out of there a little bit, and that will open up some different opportunities for the team.
And for the Fives, they are looking to clinch this match, and they would if they could pull a comeback here. Winning this one in 3, we would still play a 4th mixed doubles matchup. And if it came to a dream breaker, you got to put your money on the Fives, right? With the stacked talent that they have in that category.
Yeah, on paper, which we have seen occasionally doesn't matter in the dream breaker format, but certainly on paper, one of the best, if not the best, singles teams in the Premier League.
11-7.
Oh, tough miss for DeVilliers.
A little ambitious. I wouldn't say I love it, but I don't hate it either. Somewhere in the middle. Yeah, Leah Jansen making a motion that the breeze and the wind and the end change affected that drop, as it often does. you saw the fear and the panic in Leia's face as she turns around thinking that ball might drop. It does not, though. It's been a good job from Elise on these counterattacks of getting it low. James has been in a decent position on some of the subsequent balls, but they're down at his lower body instead of at the stomach or chest region that he can do more damage with.
That's a beautiful ATP finish from Jay DeVilliers. You called why his technique is so good.
Well, I talked about his one-handed slice. He's got to make me look bad and go two hands right there. Either way, he can get the ATPs done, and his length and athleticism really helps with that shot.
Even more impressive that he can do it multiple ways. I'd say he's building on your point of trying to prove even further notoriety on that ATP. How about this finish from Elise Jones?
Very nice, and a little momentum here on the St. Louis Shock, and they absolutely needed it. So yeah, and that is a very important part of that ATP shot, is the ability to be patient, read it early, and then use your footwork to be in the perfect position for the contact point. And the length and the footwork of Jay DeVilliers is very much on point.
So the St. Louis Shock jump out to a 5-point lead. The 5s looking to regroup. Lee Waters giving her thoughts to James Ignatowicz and Leia Jansen. What can they do to turn up their game a bit here, down 5?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing that I mentioned earlier. Jay's wreaking havoc, so I think they have to try to keep him out of the middle in some way. That could be an attack up the line from Leia Jansen, or it could also be a soft dink behind him. But either way, you don't have to win the point with that shot. Just put it in the back of his mind so that he can't just hang out in the middle of the court, Michelle.
15-10.
Big swing and reach in from James Ignatowicz. So fast with his hands, so effective with his backhand flick.
11-15. Side out, point.
Jay DeVilliers answers back in a big way.
I mean, he's just a big Frenchman. I mean, he's
flying Frenchman.
He's everywhere and nowhere. He really is. Just great court coverage and great just presence on the court for Jay DeVilliers.
Jay DeVilliers playing out of his mind to keep his team in this series. That's the way to chip away at the scoreboard against a team like the 5s. Just wide for Jansen. They have not been able to find any rhythm on their side. Jansen and Ignatowicz, it's a rare sight. They've typically played very well together in mixed.
Right, and I think that's a little bit of a testament to the quality of play for the St. Louis Shock. He had it too.
He was locked in.
Yeah, just definitely making his presence felt right now and just doing a hair more than his male counterpart on the other side, James Ignatowicz.
Wow.
Yeah, it hurts your heart as Jay, you know, at least finally got a perfect shot back behind James. Jay is right there, and tough break.
But hey, you're up by 5. Got a cushion to work with here. Haven't been able to say that much for the Shock, but here come the New Jersey 5s. No lead is safe enough here in rally scoring.
And a great job from James to body up Elise. She had already slid to her right and was loading up with the backhand. I don't know how he found the perfect spot to handcuff her.
Wow, and a forehand slap for Jay DeVilliers. 2 points out from taking game 3.
19-14.
Tough break. They almost made a dig, and Jay's done a nice job on a couple of those cross-court backhands from James Ignatowicz, who hits it as hard as anyone, but he usually goes to the same spot, and that is cross-court. So good read, anticipation, and knowing your opponent from Jay DeVilliers.
Oh, Jay DeVilliers was all over the step in by James Ignatowicz. Nice reset here by Leah Jansen on the lob, and smart choice by Elise Jones to mix it up.
I just love little right side supporting players, just getting in there with the lobs and making the good digs. You keep doing your thing, Elise. I jinxed her.
Jay DeVilliers, big again at the kitchen. Game point returns to St. Louis.
Just so tough to make the ball bounce in front of Jay. He's so good at taking the balls out of the air. The Fives just haven't been able to get the ball on the ground. And again, but yes.
2 game points saved for the Fives. Can they build with rally scoring still alive on their side, at least until they get to 18? Into the net goes DeVilliers. He can't believe it. The Fives climb within 2. Okay, things are getting a little more interesting here. The Fives trailing by 1.
What an incredibly low drive. I don't believe Elise Jones even thought that ball was going to come over the net.
Wow, James Ignatowicz steps in, ends the play, and what do we have here, Adam?
Oh my, 20 apiece, big time stuff. These are the moments we all love. MLP level up the game. There is nothing else like it. Who's gonna step up in this big situation? We will find out.
James Ignatowicz once again comes up clutch when it matters most. How will the St. Louis Shock react? On the line, and the Fives come out of absolutely nowhere, trailing by 5 at 1.7, and Leah Jansen rips the winner, finds the baseline. How were they able to rally?
I mean, you said it. They came out of nowhere. It looked maybe not hopeless, but it looked pretty dang bleak about 5 minutes ago. Some great play, some nice shot making, and a couple friendly mistakes from their opponents, and they have sealed the deal in this match 3-0, but we will play the second mixed just in case for net games, which is a big deciding factor right behind match wins.
For how these teams will finish in terms of their promotion relegation is the point system Adam's alluding to. These games all matter and are all valuable to determine how many points each team will come away with based on how and where they finish in the standings against the other teams. And the New Jersey Fives, so far, so good here on Championship Court. How the heck did Leah Jansen and James Ignatowicz pull this comeback? Let's find out now with Cameron Blackwood.
Thanks, Misha. You guys were playing for behind most of the match there, down by a large amount there at the changeover. But you had a long discussion with Lee Waters. What was said in there, and what was she seeing on the side?
A lot of our shots, we were just overhitting. So we just came out, tried to hit half pace. There's a lot of wind, and trust our hands.
You guys brought it all the way back. You get into that freeze. Does the strategy change when you're at 18-20?
Oh, no way. I mean, I definitely didn't play my best there. It's kind of weird, this format. You've got the break and you watch and you come back and but definitely, I mean, Leia played really well and she kind of took over and yeah, I mean, I think we just, especially me, got kind of lucky and won somehow.
There you have it. 5's go up 3-0, but don't go anywhere. We'll have our last mixed doubles right after this.
Just like my mama said, hard times and that good way that you're born. Hustler, when the world wants you to sing or swim, I ain't gonna go there.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Dulce Vida, you are what you drink.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
Oh my God, it's gonna be you, Adam. Back on championship court, the crowd still with us all day here in beautiful San Clemente, California. The New Jersey 5's came out of nowhere in that mixed doubles matchup to steal a 3-0 lead on the St. Louis Shock. You feel for Jay DeVilliers and Elise Jones. Jay, in particular, both players played out of their mind in that matchup. It wasn't enough, though, to halt the momentum of James Ignatowicz and Leia Jansen. So the 5's earn the victory. We will still play the 4th mixed doubles matchup here because, as Adam mentioned before the break, the game's net differential matters when it comes to determining where teams finish in the tournament standings after each event, which has an impact on how many points they earn. Each event point matters in terms of where these teams will land come 2024 when the promotion and relegation system is set. Hayden Patriquin right away out of the gate with fast hands. So what are you playing for? If you're the St. Louis Shock, you're down 3 games, playing for pride at this point, and they're abandoning their owners after this event, Adam.
Hey, these are professionals out here, Michelle.
Yeah.
They are doing it. They're staying locked in mentally. They're doing it for their team and for the net games, for their ownership, which, as you mentioned, carries over to 2024. So lots to play for. I expect them to play at a high level like they always do.
Side out, point 2.
Interested to see how the ball distribution from the St. Louis Shock, how many are going to go to Annalie Waters and Hayden Patriquin. Often you are very much trying to target the female player in mixed doubles with soft and offensive shots, but Annalie Waters is not your regular lady, so it'll be interesting to see the St. Louis Shock come out with their strategy.
Oh, what a snag from Eric Lang and the sprawling backhand reach.
Reasonable wingspan on that man.
Yeah.
And I thought he was in big trouble, and somehow he didn't even just hit it back, he hit it back cross court. Phenomenal shot from Eric Lang.
Almost as big as your wingspan, Adam.
I think so.
Not that time. You would have got that one because
yes,
you're
exactly.
compact.
Hey, low center of gravity.
That's
Come
right.
on, it helps. You
That's
know,
right.
Everything's an overhead when you're 5'7". Come on.
So
Side out, point 3. 4.
I definitely think, Michelle, that we're seeing some of these afternoon matches being a little less clean with the conditions and the breeze. It really affects your contact point, and a few more loose errors are definitely in the cards when the conditions kick up a little bit.
Firefight.
Nice hands from Eric Lang with a solid one-handed punch from his chest. Hayden Patrick went unable to get back to his left and recover.
Ooh, Simone Jargim goes for the drive down the middle. Right shot.
I would say probably not. You know, when Simone Jargim does something, it's hard to question it too much, but I would have liked to see a softer shot in that situation. Yeah, frustration over there early from Eric Lang, and Simone Jargim, nice partner, shouting over to him with some words of encouragement.
Big finishing touch there for Eric Lang, looking to keep his team in this game down 3.
Yeah, great spot from Simone Jargim to go up the line of Hayden Patrick when he's late getting over there, and the big man finishes in the middle.
Just back, Simone Jargim thought she got it.
Yeah, checking with the sideline. She wants to challenge, and you know, you get 3 per match now, so why not free timeout? Already 3 games played. If she has any inkling in her mind that that ball caught the line, give a crack at it and let the replay system do its thing.
And so they'll do just that and reset for the St. Louis Shock. Courtney Johnson, our lead referee here on center court. Have another look. We've got improved camera positioning and quality to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's out.
It's
I would
out.
see.
Yeah, I believe.
Kudos
I believe the number is 120 frames per second. And
Yes.
apparently that's good, Michelle. I wasn't quite sure, but apparently that's good.
You
so.
sold that with so much confidence that I was like, this guy knows his cameras.
He knows his
You actually
cameras.
brought it up yesterday, and I was like, he knows. He must be a secret photographer.
I talked to the legend, Steve Taylor. That man knows everything about cameras, so.
That's true. Adam Stone, photographer by day, pickleball announcer by night, father to his new baby, AJ.
Come on,
during
give me
whatever,
a couple more. Give me a couple more. Let's go. I
What
want
else
it all.
you want?
I want to wear some
Wingspan
different.
almost as big as Eric Lang's.
That's right.
What are we missing? GM for the Heart Eights. Where do you find a minute in your day, Adam Stone?
The athleticism of Christian Alshon. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, the list goes on.
Are you not entertained? Well, hey, it's been a fun event so far, Adam.
Oh, that's for sure.
Ball's confirmed out. We knew that. But how great has?
And you know, Gladiator wasn't that recent of a movie. You kind of dated yourself a little bit there with that Gladiator reference.
I didn't even know that was from.
Oh yes, that's exactly where it's from.
You're welcome. Well, you brought up Step Brothers and Nighthawk and Dragon that were here yesterday. So
Yes, I did. I can't.
Where
deny
are
that.
they? I don't see them.
You haven't seen them today. Tough break for Simone.
Oh, they're in there somewhere.
Too big of a swing on the forehand counterattack. Got to keep that a little shorter.
Side out, point 6.
All right, here come the St. Louis Shock. So challenge didn't go in their favor, but a nice break. Hayden Patriquin, just 17 years old. There they are, Nighthawk and Dragon, our fan favorites. Oh, who's surprised? They're cheering for the 5's.
They're cheering for the 5's.
Are you surprised?
No, not at all. Very colorful, enjoying.
Looks like the man on the left took a trip to Tommy Bahama. And the hype guys, the pickleball hype guys, they have a business card, and you can hire them for the hard 8s if you want to steal them away from the New Jersey 5's, Adam.
Well, of course.
As a GM, I think you should start suggesting this.
Of course they have a business card. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? I just love this. Can I be on the hype squad? The hype guys. Check them out on Instagram at thehypeguys.pb as we continue our coverage here on Center Court. Eric Lang and Simone Jargin, one of the OGs of the sports, couple of the OGs of the sports, against some of the young and up-and-comers. Annalee might be 16 years old, but she's been around for 4 years now on the pro circuit. Hayden Patriquin, a newer name in the space. Still growing his brand in the professional pickleball circuit. Powerful wind, as you can hear it. Picking up here on Center Court. That will make things interesting as we progress through the day. Ooh, just miss, but a good shot and a good attempt from Hayden Patriquin. He thought he had it.
Yeah, not really nice eye from Simone Jargin. That ball was not out by much. Veteran play letting that ball sail.
Side out, point 12.
She hits it hard, Michelle.
She does. And then just when you think she's going to hit it hard, she'll hit it soft to an angle you can't touch. It's almost unfair.
Side out.
Hayden Patriquin pulling off of that forehand, down in a nice crouch position to use his leg, just came out of his shot and stood up straight a little too early.
Annalee Waters, so good with her counter punches. She can attack from any position that she's in on the court.
Yeah, all 4 players really good hands in that point. Couple firefights and a couple resets.
Hayden Patriquin tags Eric Lang. He's a California youngster, enjoys surfing with his friends in his spare time. You don't get much more California than that. And Ryan Harwood was really open in the draft process why he selected Hayden Patriquin, saw the upside. What upside do you see with a player like him?
Oh, of course. There's always age-related upside. Now, there's extra things that allow you easy power, things of that nature. But when you're, 16, 17, 18 years old, you're going to get better. That's just what it is.
He was the 4th round pick for the 5's at 48. Is this a player that's going to stay in Premier, Hayden Patriquin, given he was so far down on the first round?
I would say he was on the cusp. After the first event at Mesa, I would probably say no. Right now, I think he's going to stay.
And he rises to the occasion under pressure as well.
That's exactly right. He kind of had a mental reset after that Mesa tournament, played big in Daytona, and obviously playing a clean game so far here in San Clemente. Kudos to the kid for picking up his game.
Point.
Annalee Waters and Hayden Patriquin running away with this 4th game, looking for a clean 4-game sweep on the St. Louis Shock. Oh. Big miss, but all smiles for Hayden Patriquin.
Yeah, 7-point lead, smiles for sure. If it was 17-15, he would be very upset with himself in that situation. It's always nice to have a cushion, Michelle.
10-17. Side out, point 18. 18-10.
Somehow Simone 2 on the two-handed backhand a little bit early, but she was in perfect position to counter, and that just kind of sums up the situation we're in this last mixed doubles match.
Side out, point 11.
This is group play from Group B, as we will wrap that action up, group play, tomorrow morning and progress into the quarterfinal knockout rounds tomorrow afternoon. And a tweener from Annalie Waters. Oh, they lose the point though. Love that.
Yeah, absolutely. A little showmanship there from Annalie Waters. It's a little more difficult when you're 5'6". You know, some of the bigger guys, it's easier to do the tweener. She's got less room to work with, but she pulled it off.
Daniel De La Rosa makes that shot look easy with that racquetball background. And sometimes it's your only option.
Point 20.
So this will be the second sweep of the day. The 5s took down the BLQK Bears, as you mentioned, Adam, in 4 games. Match point here. Eric Lang just steps in to put it away.
Point 13.
Jarjim is looking at something.
2 bounces. Yeah, 2 bounces. Annalie kind of played it, but definitely 2 bounces on the great angle from Simone Jarjim, veteran shot. In there.
That's right.
I'm not sure anyone was thinking that was going to fall. Drops right in the corner. Beautiful execution on the mini Ernie from Simone Jarjim.
Point.
St. Louis closing the gap, trailing by 4. While the 5s are on the freeze, make that a 4-point game.
Big poach from Simone coming all the way across the court.
Something, that double bounce call fired her up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
She's been a
she had some
feisty
words.
player since.
Yeah, she had some words. I'm not sure if it was for the referee or possibly someone on the sidelines, but clear double bounce and right back in it. Kind of shocking, as we had a very lopsided affair a few minutes ago, but the MLP creep as the freeze allows that to happen, and we definitely have a match on our hands with this second mixed doubles.
Well, anything's possible in rally scoring. We've seen it a couple times. We saw it late last night. Your boy Rob Nunnery with the Brooklyn Aces was at the score line for quite some time too, and then the other team found a way to get in. That's where rally scoring can bite you on the freeze.
Thank you. All right, players, time in. 16, 20.
Big two-handed rip from Annalie Waters.
I mean, she was kind of swinging as Simone was swinging. Good read. She knew where the ball was going, and she knew what to do with it as well.
So the 5s with a chance to close it here. Nope. Serve and point will return back on the side of the Shock, who are still on rally scoring until they get to 18, if they get to 18. Jarjim and Eric Lang slowly chipping away at the scoreboard here. They trail by 3.
Side out.
Another chance for the 5s.
Yeah, tough break on the missed third at this juncture of the match. Gotta have a clean third and at least make your opponents hit a ball and try to get forward to the kitchen.
Hayden Patriquin puts it away, and another clean 4-game sweep for the New Jersey 5s, who jump out to a 2-0 perfect record in group play so far. They are a motivated group to get to that super final on Monday night, and also to get to the final for San Clemente at this event taking place Saturday night. What did you see on the side of the 5s and why this group could be in contention for the finals, Adam?
Well, it's just they have the firepower clearly throughout their roster. So to make pretty good decisions out there and not make too many loose errors, when they do that, they can be a very much an overwhelming force in this tournament. So, you know, the inconsistencies occasionally creep in, but they did not in this match. And, you know, we see the result at a 4-0 victory.
They have not dropped a game all day or a match. The New Jersey 5s, a perfect 2-0 so far on the day, and that is a wrap for us with this matchup, but we have plenty more coming your way here on Championship Court. In about a half hour, we'll be back with the Challenger level semifinal match featuring the champs, the Bay Area Breakers, the team to beat that can't be beat, and the Chicago Slice, who, by the way, both of these teams punched their ticket to the super final on Monday night. So we're getting a little preview, appetizer, leading into that super final. Only one team can, of course, make it to the final here in San Clemente. And it's going to be a fun run to watch. No Rachel Summers for the Bay Area Breakers. We'll be back with that match in about a half an hour. For Adam Stone, Michelle McMahon, and Cameron Blackwood, have a great afternoon. Don't go very far, though. We will be right back here on Championship Court. Plenty of coverage for you, though. We've got 4 other courts in action. Take your pick your team, and enjoy your coverage.